You guys, what day this is, don't you? June 16th, 2023. What's so special about it? Well, today marks the 1-year anniversary of Genshin Impact on my channel. When I first got this game, I didn't think I was going to be so obsessed with it. And yet, here I am a year later still playing this game. Still doing all the stuff that this game provides. And with updates, oh man, there's just so much that this game has to offer. And you recall, when I first started this adventure, I had no stamina whatsoever to make it over to here. A year later, I can dash all the way here with plenty of stamina to spare. And 1 year later, I can do the same thing going back. So, just to quickly recap everything we have done so far. Just a quick synopsis of how far we've come along in our journey. Along with Paimon, we learned about teleport waypoints. We learned how to climb. This is where we first saw Dvalin, Storm Terror the dragon. Discovered the statues of the Seven. First being the statue of Anemo, Lord Barbatus. Came here into the Whispering Woods and met Venti for the first time. We met Amber and learned about the Hilichurls. And we learned how to use her. Came here to Mondstadt, the City of Freedom. Joined the Adventurers Guild.
Which should I choose?
And up there was the Knights of Favonia's headquarters, where we met Jean. And during that exchange, there was a wild exchange between ourselves and Dvalin. Which was kind of fun, in my opinion. Came here to the Knights of Favonia's headquarters, talking about how to confront Storm Terror. Talked to Jean, Kaya, and Lisa here. Visited the Temple of the Falcon. Temple of the Wolf, which I just accidentally teleported to. Temple of the Lion, where we learned about elemental reactions. And then Eagle's Gate, which were the key. Came up here to the Thousand Winds Temple along with Diluc on how to confront Storm Terror. And once we figured that out, came here to Storm Terror's lair, opened the gate, and confronted him, and saved him from the Abyss Order, and saved Mondstadt in the process. And along the way, we learned something about the Fatui. What did we learn? We first learned about the Fatui Harbingers. The first one we met was Senora. And that was the end of the Mondstadt journey. Once we finished our mission in Mondstadt, we first came here to Liyue, obtained the power of Geo, Rex Lapis, and our trip from Stonegate to Liyue Harbor was a very long one. But once we arrived, we seemed to be in pretty good hands. As we came to Wanwen Bookhouse to get the Geo Travel Guide, and in Mondstadt we got the Anemo Travel Guide. However, unbeknownst to us, all was not well. As our mission further took us up here, to Eugene Terrace. What happened up here? I will show you. There was a rite of passage ceremony that was supposed to occur here on Eugene Terrace. Eugene Terrace. Sorry. But when we arrived, the Geo Adeptus Rex Lapis, or Morax, was murdered upon descent. And since we were new to Liyue, we were prime suspect number 1. And just like in the church mission at Mondstadt, to grab the Holy Lyre de Himmel, we made our escape from the Millelith, sneaking past them in James Bond style or something like that. That's what it felt like to me. And in here, we met 2 very notable people. Three, actually. Oh wait, this isn't the right place, my bad. I've never actually been here before. I don't recall. Yeah, it wasn't Shinua Kiosk. It was Luau Pavilion? If memory serves me right, I can't recall the name. Now if I can just remember where it was, hang on. Liuli Pavilion, that was it. And here we met two people worth of note. Both of whom were extremely important to the story's plot. Yeah, that was it. And here we met Lady Ningguang, the Tianquan of Liyue Harbor, and Mr. Zhang Li, who was a very well-learned man. And during the investigation of Rex Lapis's death, we met a Fatui Harbinger by the name of Child, who seemed to be rather trustworthy. So to recap, we went all over Liyue, investigating the death of Rex Lapis. No, actually, we didn't meet the Tianquan Ningguang in there. We actually met just Zhang Li, who we talked to over here, and up there was a character that you're seeing constantly in these videos, Ganyu, who said to us that Lady Ningguang wanted to see us. In where exactly? Well, if I could just find it. Up there, in the Jade Chamber. And it was around here where I started to experiment with different editing techniques with the software that I use. As well as putting together a proper outro. And the first time I laid eyes on this, I was blown away. So what happened then? We headed out here to Mount Tianheng to investigate the Guizhong stuff. And we also ran into Ganyu in the process over there, I think. We also, if I can remember the exact location, it was over here, where we find out that the Fatui were making seals. However, before that, one of the most uncomfortable quests I have ever experienced. And I'm sure many people would agree, If you know who this character is, oh, those flashbacks. Oh man, that quest.
Hey there. Don't be shy. Come inside.
If you know, you know. Anyways. Once we were over here in this particular location and found out what was going on, we headed back to the Liyue Harbor and things were getting intense. And another thing that I left out was we also had a bunch of quests involving the Adepti, which were Moon Carver, Cloud Retainer, and I got it wrong in the actual video, Thunder Chaser. And Cloud Retainer's domain was the only one that we actually entered. We didn't actually enter any other domains. Once we found out what the Fatui were doing over here, we headed here to the Golden House. Where we found out what the Fatui's plan was. The Fatui's plan was to collect the gnosis from each of the 7 archons. And after we defeated Child here, we were locked into an intense battle with Osial, the god of the vortex, that emerged from Gudyon Stone Forest and came out the victor. But that wasn't the end of it. We returned here to Liyue Harbor, specifically, if I can just remember the name of it, it was one of the banks. It was here at Northland Bank that we ran into Senora again. And we found out what really happened at that ceremony. We found out that Zhongli was in fact Rex Lapis, who had faked his own death to fulfill and honor a contract that he had with Senora, and willingly gave up his own gnosis to Senora. Which was an insane plot twist. And then we headed back to Eugene Terrace. I meant to say Terrace. Where Zhongli told us about Inazuma and its Archon, Ball, the Electro Archon of Inazuma. After a very lengthy quest involving Beidou and this ship called the Crux, we finally managed to make it here into Rito. Our first steps into Inazuma. Unfortunately, when we got here, we couldn't leave immediately, because things here in Inazuma turned out to be extremely, extremely strict. We had to get a travel permit, which involved a quest from... who was it? Was it Chinatsu? Let me head up there. A plan from Hiragi Chisato of the Hiragi clan, who guised it as an escort mission to see her beloved, traveling all the way out to here to Konda Village. And then when we came back, we had our travel permit, because before there was a guard standing on duty here keeping us from leaving Rito, and once we had our travel permit, he couldn't keep us locked in anymore. And that opened up the quest to explore the Tri-Commission. We learned about the 3 commissions. The Kanjo Commission, the Yashiro Commission, and the Tenryo Commission. These 3 commissions work together to maintain order within Inazuma. And when we finally got to Inazuma City, we learned about the Raiden Shogun and her statue of the ever-present god, which they were building in her honor. And during this time period, we were learning something about called the Vision Hunt Decree, where anybody within Inazuma who was caught with a vision had their visions apprehended and inlaid on this statue. So we had to find out what was causing the Vision Hunt Decree. That said, we came here to the Kamisato estate, spoke with Lady Ayaka of the Kamisato estate, of the, I believe, the Yashiro Commission. Where we ran investigations in Konda Village and a couple of other places along here, and I believe in Rito as well. Two of their names escape me, but I remember one very, very clearly, by the name of Domon, who is a master of the Make-Yoshi Sweet Art. And once we finished with that quest, at the Narukami Shrine, we informed Ayaka of the situation. To make a long story short, we found out that over here, in the Kanjo Commission, leading up to this point, we learned that the Fatui was the one that ordered the Vision Hunt Decree, and the Raiden Shogun, whom after encountering the 100th vision, who happened to be Toma, another person that we became friends with, he was going to lose his vision, but we stopped that. And we were greeted with one of the most amazing intro sequences I have ever seen, going into something called the Plain of Euthymia, where the Raiden Shogun challenged us. We effectively got our butts kicked, but we managed to escape with our lives, which led to the lengthy investigation as to why the Vision Hunt Decree was set in place. We found out through the Kujo encampment and Fort Fujito that we became members of the Resistance and met the very lovely Sangonomiya Kokomi, who openly protested the Vision Hunt Decree. And when we found out that it was the Fatui who decreed the Vision Hunt Decree, talked the Raiden Shogun into it, we came back to the Grand Narukami Shrine, met Kujo-Sara, and through a convoluted quest featuring Ayaka and Yoimiya, who is in cohorts with someone called Master Masakatsu, who is visions in protest. Turns out that failed. which led to Toma getting captured. After meeting Kujo Sara here, we came here to the Kanjo estate, or the Kujo estate, in the Kanjo Commission. We found out that one of the people that we first encountered here was responsible for the Vision Hunt Decree. And then once we cleared that up, we came here to Tenshukaku and ran into Senora one final time, challenged her to a duel, and came out on top. And when she was defeated,
this is no place to
she suffered the fate of the Musashi. We escaped with our lives, but were greeted with one of the sequences I have ever seen in a video game. Coming all the way down here, and it was here that we met the Raiden Shogun once again,
No commotion will be tolerated.
realizing that the Raiden Shogun that we met in Tenshukaku was actually a puppet, and the real Raiden Shogun was in the plane of Euthymia. She challenged us again, only this time, Yai Miko, who was her familiar, came to our aid, and with the ambitions of the people of Inazuma, came out the victor. And then after that, we headed into the chasm for the first time. And down there, we actually had a double quest. Now, after the main Liyue quest, we met someone by the name of Dane, who talked about the Abyss Order and the calamity that struck Conria 500 years ago, as of this game's timeline. He explained that the Ruin Guards were Steel Tillers, which was a code name that was used in that time period. And in that quest, we finally met Lumine's brother, who had become partnered with the Abyss Order. Here in the chasm, we ran into him again. And in this mission, we discovered a lot about the chasm, where there was a whole bunch of black mud that we had no idea what it was. And in that double quest, we discovered something very, very dark and sad. The curse that Dainsleif explained in the first part, not only affected him, but the people of Conria and also the Hilichurls. Which, at the start of that quest, we learned that the Hilichurls were heading into the chasm for some mysterious reason. The reason being was that the Hilichurls were heading into the chasm because they were affected by the curse, and they could come down here as their final resting place, where they could rest in peace. Naturally, the Abyss Order was also involved in that, trying to reverse the curse, but in a very aggressive way. We cleared up that quest, and we also cleared up the quest chasm spelunkers in the process. And now, after all of that, we're actually able to continue the main story quest in the Forest of Change, starting in Liyue. But we're not going to do that just yet. There are a couple of quests that I want to finish up here in Inazuma first. Like Perilous Trail, which will involve me completing all of these quests up to Imperatrix Umbrosa Act 1 and possibly 2 before I move on to Sumeru. And that's where we're officially at right now as of this video. What a journey it has been. Thank you all for sticking with me on this journey. I know some people have left somewhere in the middle, and that's fine. I understand. Not everybody is interested in this game, and I get that. But for those of you who have stuck with me from the beginning, I thank you all, and I hope to bring you more entertaining videos to come. Thank you for watching this special 1-year anniversary video. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. Stay loving, my friends.